cute.
Hey guys, we're gonna start around 8:35, 8:40. Thank you. Much. Okay, wait, I gotta lower this. Let me try it. Okay, whatever. Hi. So we're gonna get started. But first up, we have Aubrey. Aubrey? Perfect. Welcome. Give them a round of applause, please. Thank you.
So the prompt is, I'm dating 3 girls at the same time on the internet. So my name is Bob Jones. Every morning, I find a shiny and beautiful stack of saliva on my couch. Every morning seems like a failed attempt of a Patrick Bateman movie start. I live with my mother, Kitty. She's kind and attentionate, but me being 30 years old, I guess that she's a bit too much sometimes. I start by doing some push-ups with the knees and vertically on the wall because my fitness absolutely is miserable. I have no virility. Although I feel proud of this single and lonely hair growing on my chin, it reminds me that I'm supposed to be a grown man. I'm unemployed, and if my life could be summarized in one word, it would be nothingness. I've got no woman, no projects, no ambition, just one couch and my mother saying every day at noon, "Don't forget your lunchbox, my little honey baby boy." No. I jerk off 3 times a day on the same poster of this blonde hair girl with a red hat, but each time the dog she carries looks at me with envy just when I'm about to finish. I'm crazy about women. But I have no attributes whatsoever to sell, except some well-fermented saliva waiting for transfer. And 2 arms powered by those knee push-ups. This is the real world. I'm not made for it. I know I won't ever be self-confident. I know that any woman is out of reach. But recently, I've downloaded Hinge. This saved my life. I mean, it created a new one to replace the old one. My new name is Brian, and I am a D1 basketball player at Stanford. My parents are managing a car shop, and they gave me a nice Cadillac for my last anniversary. If you look at me, you don't care whether I'm stupid or empty inside. You don't care, because I'm rich, and I've got this burning red Cadillac motherfuckers. Obviously, I photoshopped all these pictures, and the girls only see fire. I think I hacked the algorithms because I see the best of the best on my feed. I could choose anyone. I feel like I'm walking through a wine cave in Bordeaux with 3 millions on my bank account. I could choose anyone. 3. 3, that's my lucky number. That's the amount of girls I'm dating at the same time right now on Hinge. They never saw me. They see Brian, the D1 player. You could say I'm immoral, but I think that everyone wears masks. I just do it intentionally. Yes, I'm not self-confident. Yes, I've got no attractive attributes. Yes, I'm Bob Jones and I hate myself. I'm intimidated by the girl scanning my stuff at the supermarket. I still remember the last time she looked at me in the eyes, like a fucked up romantic scene. Yes, that's me. I'm unable to live without trying to please others. I'm constantly trying to be liked, and this ruins me every day. But, I'm dating 3 girls on the internet at the same time.
Hey! That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hooked up with a 47-year-old man when I was 16.
It was the early 2010s Upper East Side Tinder. This was the days before age verification. He was a faceless default profile with a single aerial view shot of Central Park. Though at least he revealed his age, which is more than I can say about men these days. Picture this. Me, a high school sophomore, browsing dating apps from behind my laptop in my 810 Spanish class. Him, the divorced father of a young dentist, relishing in the solitude of an Italianate mansion on 78th Street. We didn't meet there. After a few nights of sporadic sexting, he decided that we should meet in a mid-tier midtown hotel with fake plants and carpeted floors. I ascended the elevator alone, my chest reverberating with desire and disgust, biting my nails under my Aviator Nation hoodie. He was bald but tan, sturdy, and beady-eyed. We sat on the bed, and I wondered what might happen if we were caught. Would he go to jail? Would I, a small and teary-eyed teen, be asked to testify in court? He began to undress, and I thought about testify and testicle, about how his withered skin would soon abrade my Victoria's Secret 5 for $30 panties. My meticulously applied vanilla shimmer body glitter. Soon, I was arching, naked, my backpack on the floor. I reached over with him over me, and I turned my snap map off.
Very good. Very good. Incredible stuff.
This is the best line I've heard all,
That's pretty good.
Incredible.
In 2 months.
yeah, at least 2 months. At least. Next up, we have Alex Barney.
Okay.
Alex Barney.
My prompt was, I am in love with 4 people and it makes me feel crazy. I am in love with 4 people and it makes me feel crazy. I had just moved to New York, a transplant from southern Nebraska. There all we knew was corn. Every day corn. Nothing but corn. My girlfriend of 7 years was the daughter of a farmer. She stayed behind for the corn. I was all alone out here. There was, until I went to the wildest party I'd ever been to. It was in Bushwick. Fucking Bushwick. My cornball ass could barely believe it. Never had I seen such degeneracy in my life. The lights flashed in evil, fluorescent hue. The music played to a pitch that could pierce the eardrum of an elephant, and the coke caked every single crevice of the bathrooms.
Here.
Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a girl who was all alone. I was confused. She was stunning. My curiosity couldn't be contained. Rapid was my approach. We chatted, we laughed, we kissed. She told me she lived down the block and was here for a party with a couple of her friends. She offered me a bump of ketamine. I relented and put the key in my nose. It was smooth, surprisingly smooth. Before I could even grasp the gravity of my mistake I had just made, she took my hand in a hurry. We drifted through the Jefferson Street Club like a pair of subway surfers. She took me to a mysterious apartment. Of course, to me at this point, everything about the city was mysterious. We vaulted ourselves up a 5-floor walk-up. The door creaked open with a horrid sound, the kind of sound you would expect to hear in a low-budget horror flick. Inside the room were 6 silhouettes. Upon further inspection, there were 3 men and 3 women. The one girl in the corner was dressed interestingly. Low-cut jorts, a flat-brimmed Yankee, and a couple gold chains. I had never seen someone who looked quite like she did, nor had I heard someone speak in the way she did. She had a proclivity to refer to me as playa, and kept ending her sentences with type shit.
Type shit.
While I was unaccustomed to it, there was something intriguing about it. Coming from the middle of nowhere, white people never acted this way. Her charm was undeniable. I recalled back to a few memes I had seen on the internet before I moved to New York. Was this what a wigger looks like?
Oh shit.
Just say nigga.
Don't.
Well, she was white.
Absolutely fucking don't.
Towards the bathroom, there was far more prim and proper girl. This one did not like me, but her beauty was off the charts. I really didn't have a thing for blondes, but Christ, her hair was incredible. She was the spitting image of a World War II era propaganda poster, perhaps less insidious, but maybe more. When I spoke to her, she shut me down immediately, but I was smitten. I needed to have her. Reflecting on my hilarious rejection for even the smallest of small talk from the wannabe Aryan, I moseyed toward the other side of the room. There stood a girl unlike all the others. I tried to initiate conversation by introducing myself, but it was to no avail. She was far too busy looking at her phone. I scanned the beige website she was furiously typing on to try to get an understanding of what she was up to. It was a website called spite.fr.
Oh my god.
She was writing what I could only assume was a very inflammatory post. Reading the text, I couldn't help but notice the sheer amount of slurs that adorned her post. I was horrified for a second, but I was nowhere close to being prepared for what I would see next. She went to attach an image to her post. Ladies and gentlemen, this shy little girl was posting what looked to be a close-up image of someone's shitty asshole. What the fuck? For a second I was shocked, but then something awakened inside me. Was I turned on? What the fuck is going on? After I made my introductions to the women, the girl who had dragged me to this apartment made an announcement. "Tick-tock, it's time to fuck." Fuck? This is an orgy? My stupid Midwest ass had barely had sex with my one farmer girlfriend back home, but I was supposed to fuck all these women? I proceeded to disappoint each and every girl monumentally with my patented one-pump chump style, and was promptly removed from the Bushwick orgy. Standing on the dimly lit corridor of the alleyway leading to the apartment, I reminisced on what could have been. The Bushwick ket fiend, the wigger, the finance Nazi, and the shy scat supremacist. These realities I had never dreamed of being real. Even though the shame I reminisced about what could have been, I feel like my brain had just been thrown into a washing machine set to heavy on the rinse cycle. Had it not been for my sexual ineptitude, perhaps I could have had all four of these avant-garde goddesses. Well, hopefully Hustlers University has a course on not sucking dick at sex. Oh well. Life in the big city, I thought. I opened up Instagram. The first post that showed up was curious. The format was new. I had never seen a meme quite like this, but it spoke to me deeply. The meme depicted a well-dressed man adorned with text on top and the bottom of the image. The impact font text on the top of the image read, "Can't get it up?" The bottom read, "It's okay, man. It happens to all of us. You'll get him next time, champ." This filled me with determination. Also, Charlie Blue Cell says hi.
Too short for a full podcast episode even. I said, remembering Adrian, our mutual friend, told me he listens to Odd Lots. I liked listening to podcasts about money. It felt like a foreign language. That's convenient, our offices are right next to each other. Hopefully you won't get tired of seeing me at home and at work. Office is a funny way of putting it. I was a dog trainer in Tribeca. Victor worked in private equity. We both graduated from Cornell a couple years ago, but our paths never crossed. I needed to find someone to take over the second room in my apartment, and Victor needed a room. We had nothing else in common except working within blocks of each other. I like all the plants, Victor said when I opened the front door. My old roommate was a primary caregiver. I don't have much of a green thumb, I said. I couldn't imagine Victor did either. I didn't really know many guys in finance, but they all seemed vaguely Patrick Bateman-esque to me, lacking in a nurturing side. My mom gardens a lot. I wanted to get plants when I moved, he said. This time when I looked at him, he looked softer. I hope there was nothing obvious in my silence. Victor was one of the best roommates I had, functionally. He was extremely clean, but not overbearing about it. He was quiet, but friendly when we ran into each other. I felt comfortable occupying common spaces with him. He never had any guests, which I was endlessly curious about. A month into living together, I went to Lake Placid with my family for a weekend. When I got back, the place was spotless. Victor had clearly deep cleaned. I invited my friend Zoe over the day I got back. I had refrained from inviting guests over for a while, but I was usually the one in my friend group who hosted. Tell me everything about your new roommate, Zoe asked. We were on the roof. I didn't want to bother Victor. He's really nice. Mysterious, though. There's something I feel like I don't understand about him. Sounds hot. Can I see a photo? I pulled up his LinkedIn. He had no other social media. Wow, you should fuck him, Zoe said. I turned bright red. She gasped before I said anything. Oh my god, you want to. I take it back, you definitely shouldn't. It's just 1 month into a 2-year lease. I know that. I feel like I've never met anyone else like him, I said. There's no way that's true. He's the kind of hot where you know he's boring. Okay, you would think, but he's not. He's a really good conversationalist, and not in a like he networks a lot way. He's also very thoughtful, and yeah, there's something else, almost like a darkness to him. You've lost it. Can I meet him? Is he home? Yeah, he's probably making dinner. Let's go say hi. We stumbled down the stairs, wine drunk. It was making me full of Russian hue. I unlocked the front door to Victor making a steak sandwich. Victor, this is... I began to introduce them, but Zoe started sneezing uncontrollably. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. She stepped out in the hallway, and I grabbed her a box of tissues and brought them out. Did you get a dog you didn't tell me about? Zoe asked. What? No, of course not, I said. That's so weird. I'm severely allergic to dogs. That's the only thing that makes my eyes swell like this. I'm so sorry about whatever it is. I don't have any allergy meds either. That's okay. I probably should get home anyway. I'll meet Victor another time, Zoe said. We said our goodbyes. I walked back into the apartment. What happened to your friend? Victor asked. She had some sort of allergic reaction, so she went home. Was there a dog in here when I was upstate? I asked. No. Why do you ask? He said. His voice was weirdly strained. I raised an eyebrow. Super fine if so, I don't really care. I was just wondering if Zoe's allergic to dogs. Weird. I did have a girl over. She has a dog, maybe that's it, Victor said. My heart sank. Oh, that must be it, I said, trying not to sound too upset. Later that week I was grabbing lunch. I had forgotten to bring it that day. I opened the door to the Italian sandwich shop and saw Victor. What are you doing here? Victor asked. I forgot my lunch today. I come here for lunch every day, he said. He looked down at my side. Who's this? Poppy. She's my main client right now. Victor looked at me, making intense eye contact. Can I pet her? He asked. I nodded. He pet her soft golden fur. He had nice hands, big, masculine, clean nails. She's beautiful, he said, a little above whisper. I could have been reading into things too much, but the way he said it felt charged, like he was talking about me. The next day, I got a text from Victor. Can I buy you lunch today? My heart dropped. Would love that. Smiley face. This time, we got the sandwiches to go and went to the park. Victor even got a treat for Poppy. We sat side by side on the bench. When we finished eating our sandwiches, we ran around in the park with Poppy. We must have looked like a couple to everyone else. When he was wrestling with Poppy in the grass, and I had an intrusive thought, imagining myself rolling around there with him. It became our routine. We'd meet up for lunch every day, play with Poppy, and my feelings for Victor only grew. A couple weeks later, I was drunk after a friend's comedy show coming home. I was feeling messy. I needed to tell Victor my feelings. I was convinced they were reciprocated. Why would he buy me lunch every day otherwise? I walked down the hallway. Then I stopped. I heard a bark coming from our apartment. My heart sank. Maybe the woman with the dog was back. His date that one time. She hadn't come back, so I assumed it was done. My hands were shaking as I opened the front door. Victor's on the couch. I thought I was hallucinating. He was shirtless, his muscular body wrapped in an embrace with a German shepherd. They were kissing. He jumped up when I walked in. I can explain, he said. I couldn't speak. I began to cry. I thought I had feelings for you. I thought you had feelings for me, I said through tears. I'm so sorry for leading you on. I don't have feelings for you. I'm in love with Poppy. The memories of the past few months raced through my head. I felt like I had unlocked a missing piece of the puzzle and everything was making sense. The prompt is, my roommate is in love with a dog. Woof.
Oh my god, amazing. All right, everybody. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna take a little intermission.
Yeah.
Buy drinks to
Buy
the
drinks
bartender.
yeah.
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 And we'll be back in like 10, 15?
15.
15.
15.
15.
Love you.
Yay!
Do you stand for self-doxing?
Self-doxing is sick.
Yeah?
Self-doxing rocks, dude.
Self-doxing rock?
Fuck yeah.
He invented self-doxing.
I invented self-doxing.
You invented self-doxing.
I'm gonna go post that on Instagram now.
He invented self-doxing. There, you done me free.
Cassidy invented self-doxing.
She's a co-author of self-doxing.
Never been an
Really,
anonymous.
Tarquin invented.
Never been an
I
honest.
never had
I just,
Cassidy was the first one to self-dox, and she did it as a joke for no reason.
That it was basically created by, the Wet Brain podcast.
Oh man.
Oh, crazy.
I have cheated in every serious relationship I've ever been in. That's 6 times. What is loyalty if not obeying my hunger? To deny myself would be treason against the only person who never leaves me. That's what I used to tell myself. That faithfulness is theater. People talk about being authentic, being true. Fine, my truth is filth. It's hunger. But eventually I stopped buying into all this self-serving crap. Didn't matter though, I still kept cheating. Force of habit, I think my mind changed, but my body didn't. Mind-body unity is clearly fake. I've been thinking about writing a book responding to Aristotle or Plato or whoever invented that thing.
Descartes.
Exactly. Deception is basically my only turn on now. And I've been enjoying cheating at board games lately. I go to a local board game cafe with pockets full of extra Catan and Uno cards. And I sit down at a table with any half-decent looking girl. And I proceed to obliterate them at the game. I usually act as if I never played the game before. So they teach me the rules, it builds rapport. And then I fuck them.
Yo, and I said it.
Yeah.
I'm now on the
You can raise.
I'm now on the sweet shot dark room because I don't use Instagram enough. Sorry, I'm not as petite as
You're the
other.
sweet shot.
There you go.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not as petite as other presenters. I'll try my best to be petite next time. Let's see. Questions. So I'll keep the prompt at the end.
Cool.
So I titled this poem, You're Poisoning My Dick. Every time you hump, every time you trust, every time you spit in my mouth and call me your good boy and I call you my wife, I forgot to make explicit the future ex-wife in between our prenup and vow lines. It hurts down there. So bad, really. It's pretty bad. It may not be chlamydia, crabs, or gonorrhea, or the Clams Casino that you devour with those filthy, corrosive, dick-sucking lips, the DSLs, that you used to kiss your ex-boyfriend with on our Christmas night. A sane man might have broken things up by now, but I'm non-binary, so I need to make everything as dramatic, as complex, as confusing as the different genders I put on my Slack and emails. Before I sign us up to charity sex parties to raise awareness for puppies with leukemia in Brooklyn's Heights. I first tried to break things up by fucking your best friend in New Year's Eve. I did it in our bed. Used your favorite toy, the pink and purple double pressure one you like. Covered us in an obnoxious amount of lube and even left her period blood all around so you'd figure it out. Alas, you're an angel, and our love is stronger than that. A treason, of course, fixed things up. I then briefly tried to come out as gay, but that only got more girls to fuck me. And you welcomed me back after rediscovering my sexuality. I guess guys can also have nice butts. They're pretty, as you know, tight. But the puppies, they never left my mind. Oh, those sweet dear, quite literally puppy-eyed, neuter, blue-blooded, white cell-destroyed furry fellas. That's when I realized, honey, I love you so much. But all your rolled cigarettes, vaping, and sins made your pussy toxic and gave me leukemia. As those words slipped my mind, traveled down my nervous system, now flooded with calm, and felt each blow destroyed. 5 years of dating, 3 years of a beautiful marriage, and 2 of constant Looney Tunesque cheating, mild breakups with a drizzle of polyamory just to spice things up. For a brief second, I was deeply grateful to every Native American tribe that discovered tobacco and to the centuries of colonialism that let it be in your iron-deficient Slavic hands. From the depths of my stem cell-treated heart, a speck of red cells started to thrive. Oh my gosh. The prompt is, I actually forgot the prompt, 1 second. The prompt is, I told my ex-girlfriend that she is the reason I got leukemia, so she will break up with me. Thank you so much.
That was fucking sick.
Alright, next up we have Apollo. We're excited.
My prompt is, I found the love of my life and I still cheat on her. Years of searching, the one everyone longed for. I've chased so long, now here looking at you, my dear soulmate. I am realizing it was the longing that I'm drawn to. I won't leave you now, however, I have another years of searching. Not for our love, but for something I don't have, and you won't have to know.
This is based on, I didn't speed write this. I wrote this a while ago, actually. But it's my favorite prompt that has ever been written. And it's because it's really cute. It's, I squeezed her hand too hard. Okay. Peonies are the best smelling flowers. Oh, my peony, how lovely you smell. But when you dry, you're oh so fragile. I touched you, and you crumbled under little to no pressure. She continued, the wind cannot be dear to you because it blows itself away. No cat should feed on the she-devil's tit because she has too much food. The hedonist should sleep, the tired should cry, and everyone else should stop asking fucking questions. He told her that she might as well get whims tattooed on her forehead. Maybe I will, she replied. My bangs would hide it anyways. His brain contains a touch of the idiot. Only a touch, but the kind of touch that sends a shiver down your spine. At least his fingers can do the same thing. It's silly to treat a woman as an angel and expect her to forget her role. One does as it does. But how does a peony smell so sweet yet taste so goddamn bitter? Then get a neck tattoo, he said. I'm not a fan of trigger warnings, she replied. You don't say. What have you learned from me, my dear, she asked. There surely must be something. While they may have gone right over your head, I tried to teach you lessons, like how you're better off being supple than making yourself hard and cold. A hammer does so much more damage to a hardwood floor than to a trampoline, you see? A soft heart keeps you safer than you think. Huh, you must have learned this lesson because I bounced and bounced and bounced. You like to be loved, he said to her. The accusation in this statement was palpable to the touch. Who doesn't? She replied. That's a good question. Her question was much less rhetorical than it may have sounded. For the rest of the day, it hung in her head like yesterday's laundry. Dry, but not yet folded. Do you want to play a game? What does the winner get? He thought it was very funny that she asked about the reward before she even knew the rules. The winner will impress the one that they beat. She smirked. Only if it's an interesting game. The leaves were kissing, but the air was still. How is this possible, he asked himself, and why am I not wearing any shoes? The forest floor didn't feel like itself. In fact, it felt like nothing. It wasn't moist or soft or sharp. It was simply nothing. Even though when he looked down, he saw mud seep through the spaces between his toes. Why can I not feel this thing I'm seeing with my eyes? The question was interrupted when he almost stepped on a bird with his bare feet. He paused for a short moment, then squatted down and touched it. He touched it oh so gently that it was barely. It was so barely that he questioned whether he touched it at all. So then he touched it a second time, this time with a bit more force. It didn't even twitch. Is it dead? He placed 2 fingers gently on its neck and felt no signs of life. It's dead. When he looked up, he saw a bird fly, and this filled him with rage. How dare he fly, he thought to himself. It's so cruel, he's mocking us. He's showing off that cunt. He looked back down at the lifeless bird at his feet, the one the flying bird was mocking. He scooped it up with his bare hands and realized that besides a flower, he had never before held something dead. Then, without deciding to, almost as if they were working independently, his arms threw the dead bird into the air. His brain begged it to fly. He repeated this 26 times. Scoop, throw, and each time it fell to the forest floor. Splat. Scoop, throw, splat. Scoop, throw, splat. But the 27th time, scoop, then throw, but instead of splat, gravity forgot to act. The dead bird hung in the air, not like yesterday's laundry, but like the day before's. It was suspended amongst the kissing leaves and the still air, and he stared. For some reason, this absurd deviation from what is possible didn't shock him one bit. She touched his shoulder, and he turned around. Her perfect nipples were visible through a thin white dress. He grabbed her hand and squeezed it, but when he did, she pulled away. I must have squeezed it too hard, he thought, or too soft, he thought. She thinks I'm a little bitch. As he contemplated, gravity remembered its role. The dead bird fell. She caught him in her arms. He woke up outside the stoop again today, as he had done the morning before. Sleepwalking. He couldn't remember what she said to him after she caught the bird. He wanted to remember that even more than he wanted to remember what her skin feels like. He closed his eyes on the stoop and pictured her in his mind. He begged her to repeat herself, which made her roll her eyes and smile. I said, would you rather see the dead bird fly or hear the angels sing? Thank you.
One more final thing, Chloe Wheeler, my co-host. Yay! Third Confessions hosting. And I'm so grateful, and this has been so wonderful. Everyone's done amazing. But I thought it would be, because I really didn't have time to write anything tonight. But I participated in the first speed writing that you ever hosted.
Yes.
And I was peer pressured by Cassidy and by several of my dear friends. They were like, just do it, just do it.
I love peer pressure.
And it was like very, So, anyway, it will probably pale in comparison to the first, but I will not diminish the reading. Anyway, the prompt is, my ex had a huge dick and a six-pack. My boyfriend has an average-sized penis. I am pissed. I tried to rationalize it. I wanted to believe that love triumphs all, that certain physical attributes could be ignored. It's the motion in the ocean, They say boyfriend, penis. Something you can work with. Not a grower, not a shower. Just quaint and contained in his boxers. It wasn't a problem in the honeymoon phase, the days of delirious passion. Something about the decadent DoorDash dinners on his Flatbush floor mattress. The poems he composed with me as his muse, the walks where we'd peruse Prospect for hours on shrooms. He had a huge personality, long fingers, and randomly massive balls. God, how he'd play the guitar, fucking up the plucking of Brazilian ballads. But I'd laugh, lick his earlobe, lean back onto his coffee-stained comforter. It was a intellectual romance, sort of sapiosexual, and quite heady. Entendre intended. But then on my 21st birthday, things took a turn for the worst. My ex, also my best friend, and my new boo in one room at a party at my parents' house, Long Island, drinking Stellas. It was hella vibes. Them meeting at last, like past and present, future past. That's a T.S. Eliot reference. Until my ex, bless his heart, committed a cardinal sin, dropped the N-word with a hard R, in good fun, innocuous, with no hate in his heart, but God, how my new fling lived out, fuming with white savior rage, shaking his finger and going so far as to rock his shit. My ex stood up and said, let's take this outside, and I cried and I ran to the park. My boyfriend found me and explained his contempt, how no one, not even my ex, was exempt from casual racist call-out. Dog, it's my birthday, I sobbed. Please stop making this about yourself. Whatever, he said. Devlin is a terrible person. After that, things changed in a terrible way. We fought more and more each day. I realized in a moment of quiet reflection, taking a cold shower in the middle of the night, that I genuinely hadn't came in a year. Boyfriend dick my ass. It is just not fair. I deserve the world. I deserve to come. I scrolled Reddit r/am I the asshole to see if it was warranted to end things for this reason. Is it treachery? Treason? I returned to his bed and we fucked for a while, but in this moment of clarity, I caught myself dissociating. Chloe Wheeler has left the chat. Chloe Wheeler is sick of narcissist, fake liberal twinks. Chloe Wheeler is going to move out of 1200 Nostrand and perhaps break up for trite, self-interested reasons. Warranted? Perhaps. And so I did, albeit 6 months later. I said, babe, you're type mid, and I'm low-key pissed that you started watching porn, after never having before, giving me the silent treatment, seducing older women at AA, and for the record, you freaked out on my ex in a way that was totally uncalled for. I was standing up for something noble, he said, absolutely neglecting the other comments, and protecting my black friend Kevin. I gently responded, but Luke, babe, he's a rapist. All right, whatever. Would you say that if he wasn't black? He said. Oh my God. And that was it. It was over. As I packed up my book stacks, my Blue Yeti mic, and my espadrilles, I sneered and hissed, bye, loser. I'm on to bigger and better things. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, everybody who read tonight. That's it for the readings, but stick around, have some drinks. We'll see you next week, hopefully. Thank you. Love you all. Back there.
Over yonder.
To the right.
We've all done this
Turned into like a dust cloud, and it's like, that's what it'd be like, dude. Like, you know, have you found bigger equal size? If you what? Divide the apart. Into two equal sizes, all into a fight.
Yo, that what?